Guys, please don't forget to subscribe to our secondary channel because there we will bring even more Dragon Ball stories and content to you. Keep supporting us. If you are on a smartphone, go to the first link in the description or in the fixed comment. If you are on a computer, open this link in a new tab. Thanks for the support. This whole story would begin the instant that Goku was able to defeat Moro, the Devourer of Worlds, since the power that Goku demonstrated was an incredible power, so much so that it had been his power that caught the attention of everyone present, even the God of Destruction himself. Goku's power is rising in an incredible way. No one had ever been able to have this pace of learning. That's right, Mr. Beerus. The power of Goku seems to break all the laws of the power we knew. Meanwhile, on planet Earth, the Prince of the Saiyans was just as thoughtful, for all the great power Kakarot possessed. I can't believe that damn being a low-class warrior is much more powerful than me, the Prince of the Saiyans. All this would happen while Goku was training with Broly, and at the same time helping him control his legendary Super Saiyan state. Wow, Broly, you've improved a lot in this time. I think you currently have enough power to face Mr. Beerus. I appreciate your help, Kakarot, but from now on, I plan to train alone, since I've always been isolated. I want to be the one who dominates all this power on my own. I understand, Broly. I will return to Earth to continue with my training. I hope to have a great fight with you soon. Goku would return to planet Earth using teleportation, but Goku had reached the sacred temple because Goku wanted to break his limitations as a Saiyan, since he was aware that much more powerful warriors were capable of appearing in the future. If I want to have better results, I will have to train in the hyperbolic time chamber so that the load is much greater. The Earth's Guardian had improved the hyperbolic time chamber so that the warriors who train in that place are even able to feel how the gravity increased in their bodies. Goku would enter the dimension in which he would start his rigorous training. Meanwhile, both deities of Universe 7 would meet in the Kingdom of Everything because the Great Priest had sent them to Yamamon. Father, so much time. Tell us, is something happening? That's right, Whis. It's about the Saiyan Goku. What happens to Goku, Father? The power he possesses is not understandable, so Goku has to be the god of destruction of Universe 13. Whis together with Beerus were very surprised because they did not have the information that there was a Universe 13. That's right, all the extinct gods have resurrected, but for some reason the god of Universe 13 has not resurrected. So we wanted a warrior of great power. Goku is a god? I cannot believe it, but I don't think Goku accepts such a position. In case he refuses, we will have to end his life, since there cannot be a mortal who surpasses the power of the gods of destruction. Understood, Father. I will inform you as soon as possible. While both deities were heading to planet Earth, they were talking about everything that happened. Whis, I know you have too much appreciation for Goku, but what would happen if he refuses? We will not have alternatives, Mr. Beerus, since the orders of the Great Priest are definitive. Both deities were on their way, but Goku's power was increasing in an unprecedented way, since the cells of Son Goku's body multiplied much faster, which was impossible. Goku was able to reach a state called Supreme Ultra Instinct, which allowed him to release much more power without his body being affected by the charge of energy, without decreasing his reaction speed. The power I have achieved is incredible, but will I be able to defeat a god with all this power? I want to have the power necessary to defend everything I love. Goku, after spending 4 years in the hyperbolic time chamber, would leave, while outside only 4 days had passed, but he was very surprised to observe all the warriors who had very serious looks. Friends, what happens? Is there a new enemy? Whis would explain everything to Goku, and they had to approach the kingdom of everything Zeno. Since 4 days have passed since we have been here, and we should not make the great Zeno-sama wait. Okay, but I don't want to be the new god of destruction. The three would go to the kingdom of Zeno-sama, while Vegeta was very upset because it was not he who was offered the position of the god of destruction. The moment he arrived, Grand Priest would receive him. Goku, it is a pleasure to have you in our palace. I guess Whis had already explained everything we have talked about. That's right, Grand Priest. I appreciate your proposal, but I will have to deny it, since it is not of my interest. I hope you understand. Goku, we will give you 5 days to be able to think about it calmly, since if you refuse, we will have to finish you. What? Whis had not told me that. Why do they have to finish me? We need a very powerful god, since the warriors of Universe 13 are warriors that not any god is able to crush. I can take care of all those warriors, but I would not like to be the god of that universe. As I told you a moment ago, it will be better for you to think about it. Whis would take Goku back to planet Earth. When Goku arrived, he was very thoughtful, since it was not to his liking to destroy planets. What can I do? I don't know what I should choose. Returning to the planet of Beerus, both deities, as in ancient times, began to train because Beerus did not want to stay behind Goku's power, since the essence he released was very powerful. Mr. Beerus, I am surprised that after hundreds of years you have resumed your training. Is there a specific reason? You are my master and my guardian, so I should not hide anything from you. I am worried about the decision that Goku may make, since if he has been qualified to rule the Universe 13, it means that his power has grown in a great way. In that regard, you are correct, Mr. Beerus, and I am afraid to inform you that even you using all your power would no longer be able to face Goku. Beerus was surprised by Whis' statement. Are you sure of what you're telling me, Whis? That's right, Mr. Beerus. I was able to feel the limit of Goku's power, and he is able to force me to use 35% of all my power, while with you, only 27% is sufficient for me. That Saiyan is incredible, but I am still a god, so there is nothing to lose. I plan to make even more effort. This is how Whis' and Beerus' training would begin. While Goku was in the mountains where he grew up, he was meditating on everything that happened. I plan to talk to Zeno-sama. He is my best friend and I know he will understand me. Goku, without giving him so much importance, would continue with his great training to be able to dominate all internal energy of his body and in the same way be able to use it as a catalyst. To improve, I need a partner, so I will go to the planet of Mr. Beerus. Goku would use teleportation appearing in front of both deities, but Beerus, having the doubt that Whis had informed him, would quickly face Goku. Goku, I want to have a fight with you. I want to witness how much you have improved since the battle we had. That would be excellent, since I also needed a partner to continue improving. On the planet of Beerus, it would feel like two great powers were colliding. While Goku would access the Super Saiyan Blue, Beerus would use 90% of all his power, but annoyingly he flinched against Goku. Activate Ultra Instinct. With that power, you will not be able to beat me. But Beerus was surprised to receive a strong blow, being sent to fly with great damage to his stomach. What? Have you been able to hit me? The Saiyan Blue is enough to beat Beerus. I am not the same one you fought a few years ago. Both began to exchange hundreds of blows all over the planet of the God of Destruction. Despite being very resistant, he began to have great damage everywhere. Beerus for the second time would fall to the ground while Goku seemed to not be tired at all. You really have a great power, but now I will use all my power. I will not let you be able to defeat the most powerful god among the 12. Beerus would expel 100% of all his power. After millions of years, Beerus this time was able to give a great blow to Goku, being sent to fly to a planet, destroying it in its entirety. Before Goku is able to recover, Beerus would grant him hundreds of blows, which Goku on this occasion, despite seeing them, was not able to avoid. Receive this super sphere of destruction. Beerus would throw a great sphere of massive destruction, which was about to cause Goku to be out of combat, but from a great light it was possible to observe Goku in the ultra imperfect instinct, destroying such an incredible attack. Beerus, your power is indeed amazing, but you do not have the necessary power to face my ultra imperfect instinct. Beerus, at the time of wanting to move, it was impossible, since a surprising pressure would be released throughout the universe, making Beerus immobile, while Goku would prostrate in front of him. Now I would like to measure myself with Whis. I want to see what is the distance that separates me from the power of a great guardian angel. Beerus, annoyed at being underestimated in such a way, using all his battle spirit, would be able to get rid of the pressure, but when directing his blow to Goku, he was not able to hit him. But Goku, in a matter of only a minute, was able to grant him more than 1,000 blows, letting the God of Destruction fall, very badly wounded and out of combat. Whis, it's time. I want to face my master. Whis would accept Goku's proposal, but before that, he would heal all Beerus's wounds. I hope you are ready, Goku. Goku, knowing that his opponent would be an angel, would access the Ultra Supreme Instinct. The power he released left Whis surprised, since he had exceeded the expectations of his power. Goku, without prior notice, launched the attack, being able to almost hit Whis. Both warriors began to fight at incredible speeds. Whis, while exchanging blows, was not able to assimilate the power that Goku possessed, since to be able to keep up with him, he had to use 39% of all his power. This is my most powerful transformation, but I am not yet able to fully master it, so I will end with just one attack. Goku would use his most powerful technique, the Dragon Blow, but to his impression, his blow would be stopped by a single hand of Whis. That's right, Whis was able to stop him, but he was amazed, since he had to use 51% of all his power to completely neutralize him. Goku would be out of combat. Whis, with his power, was able to recover Goku. Whis, I'm still far below your power. I hope one day to be as powerful as you are. Thus, the 5 days had passed quickly, in which the deities, along with Goku, would return to the palace of Zeno-sama. Goku would ask to speak with Zeno-sama, so the king of everything would leave his palace. Goku would explain everything that happened, but to his impression, Zeno-sama would deny his request. Goku, this is your last chance. Do you accept to be the new god of the Universe 13, or do you wish to die in this same place? I will never accept such atrocity. I prefer to die in this place, but I am not a warrior who is easily defeated. Goku would use all his power in the Supreme Ultra Instinct, but for the Great Priest, it was too easy to neutralize him. So Goku would return to his base state on the verge of death.
Damn it, I never thought this would be my end. I always gave my life for these damn people. I know that compared to them they are cursed, but I want to take revenge on everyone. Hatred is reflected in your eyes. It is a shame that you do not have the power to hurt us. Grand Priest would execute a great technique, which would completely pulverize Goku. But before Goku is completely destroyed, a much more powerful essence would be present with Goku. That's right, that presence was in a humanoid way. The most powerful warriors in this universe have turned their backs on you. I can give you another chance to be able to take revenge on all these damned people. You just have to accept. I accept. I do not care what it is. I will end all the damned people, with absolutely the whole divine world. Goku would disappear from all over the place like a dream, but instantly Goku would feel his small body, realizing that he had been born again,
but preserving all his memories and powers. I will end the whole divine world. I will prepare myself so that even the king of everything is garbage by my side. That's right, Goku had been born again, but in Universe 13, because in that universe there was no God to keep him in order. Your Saiyajin must overcome the power of all gods and angels. I have given you another chance, but when you are ready, you will have to do something for me. Of course I will do it. So that your training is much more effective, I accelerated your development until you became a teenager. That warrior who had an extremely incredible power to be able to give him another chance, being able to accelerate all the growth of Kakarot, providing him with the same clothes, but Goku, on this occasion, would ask for the same outfit as Black Goku. Haha, as you wish. All Goku's clothing would be replaced by a black outfit, which represented all the evil of his being. It's time to train. I think I'm the warrior who destroys the divine world. Meanwhile, on planet Earth, Whis along with Beerus would report everything that happened to the Z Warriors, leaving them a little surprised, but Vegeta inside is satisfied. Without Kakarot's insect, there is no warrior who he is not able to reach, so now I will make a lot more effort to finish with each garbage. That's how all the warriors had to accept the decision of the great Zenozama, but they were all satisfied just like Vegeta, because they came to the conclusion that because of Goku, there were always warriors wanting to destroy everything. Goku has been my best friend, but it is the best thing that could have happened to planet Earth. No, Bulma, it is the best thing that could have happened to all the universes. On the planet of Beerus, the god was very thoughtful about what happened to the Saiyajin, remembering the battles he had had, being the first to make him know defeat. What the hell is going on? Why do I feel so guilty? That monkey was a threat. Mr. Beerus cannot control his emotions and cannot eliminate from his mind what is in his heart. You better than anyone knows that thanks to Goku, Universe 7 survived. That's right, Whis, you're right. But I don't understand. Why did they end Goku's life? In the same way, Mr. Beerus, I do not understand, but there must be a very big reason. Since when a warrior rejects the position of God, only his memories are eliminated. Something very serious is happening with the high commands of the divine world. I agree, Mr. Beerus, but we have no authority to achieve anything. Meanwhile, on planet Earth, Vegeta with his new great training was able to achieve a new power, comparable to that of a common and ordinary god. But it would not be worthy of the power of the most powerful god, that is Beerus. Vegeta would ask for the training of Whis, so Beerus would accept that the Prince of the Saiyajin train on his planet. I thank you very much, Mr. Beerus. I want to be much more powerful. Beerus would not say anything about it, but he would go to take a nap while Vegeta would continue with his great training. But he was not the only one, since Goku was also carrying a rigorous training, even facing beings whose powers were of another level, since the Universe 13 was plagued with great and powerful beings. The power I have achieved is incredible, but it is not enough to end the life of the damned Grand Priest in Zenozama. But in the Kingdom of Everything, a negative energy was being released, since in one of the dimensions of the palace, a three-dimensional crack was able to filter, being able to release an essence that would corrupt any being that had contact with the energy. Grand Zenozama, are you sure it was the right thing to eliminate Goku? That's right, Grand Priest. He's my best friend, but he's a very annoying mortal, and his power doesn't seem to have a limit, so it was the best. Meanwhile, with the gods of the universes that had returned to life, a powerful goddess felt that something was wrong, so she would begin to investigate everything that happened, realizing that the most powerful god of the 18 universes had not resurrected. But in her view, the Universe 13 was able to have a slight confrontation with the Saiyajin, who proved not to be weak at all. You are a very peculiar mortal. You have a power comparable to defeat the simple gods of destruction, but to face us, you still need it. Simple gods? What are you? Are you not gods like them? Oh, honey, you're wrong. We are not in the same range as those garbage. We are called the celestial gods.
Celestial gods? Is it because of those names? Celestial gods are existences as old as the king of everything. He loves us, but as in all times there are geniuses, that little useless, despite having the thought of a simple child, was able to completely overshadow us. So you have millions of years training, but Zenozama was able to overcome them, and for that reason he was able to take the position of king of everything? That's right, you're in the right place. I don't know what relation you have with that damned guy, but I know that dwarf destroyed his 6 universes. Wouldn't you like to take revenge on that bastard? Of course I would love to. That bastard killed several beings of my race, but not satisfied with that, he even destroyed our universes. Let's unite. We still don't have the required power, but we will be able to do something against that bastard. Haha, Saiyajin, you have great goals, but it is impossible for a Saiyajin like you to face a king of everything. I know I don't compare myself to your power, but unlike you, I haven't been training for 100 years. I know I will take revenge on that damned dwarf with your help or without it. Neon, a little surprised by Goku's affirmation, decided to trust him, taking him to his planet. Would I be doing the right thing? What would happen if a king of everything dies? All this would pass through Neon's mind, which was very serious. But as soon as he reached Neon's planet, which was in Universe 14, Neon would ask to observe all the power of Goku, since he had previously had that confrontation without using all his power. On this occasion, do you want to have a battle against me, using all my power, or do you want me to take my power to the limit so that I lose speed? I will take the first option, since it is no use for you to have great power if you do not have the required speed to do something against the beings of the Palace of Zenozama. Goku would begin to access the Supreme Ultra Instinct, but the power he was channeling was incredible. That's right, his energy veins would expand twice as much as that of an ordinary warrior. In general, any god or even angel has 208 energy veins, which are responsible for increasing the power of the user. Some prodigies are even able to thicken their veins so that the transferred power is much lighter. But in the entire multiverse of Zenozama, only 2 beings had been able to access the second awakening, which gave them the 208 energy veins again, possessing a total of 416 energy veins. His body was able to withstand a gigantic power without exploding or losing speed. Neon would be surprised because the power that warrior was expelling was of another reality, since he was able to even see his planet destroyed in many parts. If he has the necessary power to destroy my planet, this Saiyajin is on par with our power, the celestial gods. But he's stupid. I repeated several times that he only uses the power that his body supports. From a large explosion, it was possible to observe Goku, which physically had not changed since the Ultra Instinct remained the same. But as he walked towards Neon, his body seemed to sink to the ground, suggesting that the pressure and his weight were terrifying. Honey, you have incredible power, but if even your body sinks to the ground, your speed must be terrible. Neon, as if it was lightning, was centimeters away from hitting Goku, but was very shocked when Goku, with a very cold and serious look, was able to stop his blow. Neon would quickly retreat, feeling how an incredible pressure expanded throughout the Saiyajin body. Don't think if you intend to hit me, I will be watching. I have hands to defend myself, but I do not want to hurt you. Neon, a little annoyed at being underestimated, would throw himself against Goku. But to his surprise, Goku, despite having all that great power, was able to dodge each of his blows without any difficulty. Goku was able to connect a slight blow to Neon, but she had felt as if a planet had hit her stomach, being sent to fly to a nearby planet, creating a large crater. Oh, I'm sorry. I thought you would be able to stop that blow. Neon would stand up and in the same way began to raise his power.
This is the power of a celestial goddess. It was incredible, since everywhere great clouds of colors were created, while in the same way, lightning and electric storms formed around the goddess. You are powerful, Saiyan, but you have been able to take yourself seriously, and only with that, You have been able to earn my respect." Nguyen began to exchange blows with Goku. Meanwhile, on the planet of Beelzebub, Vegeta was able to reach a new power. That's right, Vegeta, the Prince of the Saiyans, was able to dominate the destructive energy of a god of destruction, accessing the Ultra Evo, which would leave Whis a little surprised. Mr. Vegeta has been able to dominate the power of destruction. Apparently, not only Goku was special, but Whis was completely wrong, because if we compare the speed with which both raised their power, Vegeta was a simple child compared to Goku, and much less now, which was training with beings which even surpassed the power of the guardian angels. This power is incredible, Whis. Nothing or no one will be able to defeat me. I wish Kakarot was alive for me to defeat him myself. Mr. Vegeta, I am afraid to inform you that although your power has grown in an incredible way, it is not compared to the power of Goku. What do you mean, Whis? How can I not compare myself to his power? What Whis means is that with Son Goku, despite using all my power, I was defeated. He even forced Whis to use 51% of all his power, while I, with you, would have to use only 85% of my power to be able to defeat you. Mr. Whis is right. You would not be able to defeat Goku in an even fight yet. Vegeta, furious, since Goku was always able to overcome him, would decide to train much harder. Returning to Universe 14, Goku was able to compare himself with 70% of Nguyen's power, which left her surprised, since if he raised his power much more, the other gods would be able to perceive his power. I give up. It's not time to fight between both, but you have great power. You are incredible. Goku would return to his base state, giving a big smile. What happens? What is so funny to you? Despite being a celestial goddess and having used 70% of all your power, you do not compare yourself, since I only use 43% of my power. Nguyen was very surprised, since a warrior who had not trained for millions of years like them had the necessary power to defeat her. That's amazing! We will have a great opportunity against the curses of the Kingdom of Everything, since despite having that great power, you still have to learn to fight with your aura. With my aura? What do you mean? Nguyen, without prior notice, was able to create a claw from a simple aura, which at the time of heading towards Goku, was able to dodge it, but by making contact with the ground, a great explosion would be created, sending Goku to fly to a few mountains. Ouch, that hurt. The true celestial gods are able to fight by hand, while our auras attack in the same way. In short, it would be as if two individuals are fighting. Wow, that's interesting. I want to learn to master my aura. Thus, the training of the Saiyan would begin, while like Vegeta, both Saiyans were increasing their powers. Meanwhile, in the Kingdom of Everything, the divine essence of Grand Priest was changing more and more, since its essence was like that of ancient demons. That's right, the essence of Grand Priest was no longer the essence of a guardian angel. It was the essence of a destructive demon god. What is happening to us? I feel like my mind wants to explode like everyone else. Both Xeno-Sama guards at that moment would fall to the ground because Xeno-Sama was involuntarily able to absorb the essence of each of them, obtaining much more power. That's right, the beings of the Kingdom of Everything were out of control, while Goku would continue with his great training to destroy the whole divine world. Xeno-Sama's power was becoming absolute evil, so much so that he was even able to access a new form, which was much more robust, and his power was hundreds of times greater. What the hell is happening to my body? Why is this negative energy so satisfying, but at the same time so painful? That's right, Xeno-Sama's body, despite being the body of a king of everything, is still a body, only with greater power. And all the warriors' bodies have the same internal system, but a few are the fortunate and equally known as gods, as they were able to possess twice as many energy points as the other bodies. While the common system has 208 veins through which the flow of energy flows, very few of them have 416, which this time belong mostly to Universe 13, which is why it was called the Stellar Universe, since its powers were levels that not even the king of everything was sometimes able to overcome. My lord, apparently we have been able to dominate the power of the demons of the ancient underworld. Ha ha ha! At last, damn it, at last we've been able to dominate their negative power. But far from the Kingdom of Everything, and even in other timelines, a black armored subject would elevate his power a bit. Haha, do you think you have the body to withstand the power of the knights of the underworld? Brother, have you been able to control the damned king of everything? Not yet, brother, but it is a matter of time, since the negative power is inside him. This will be very fun. After millions of years, we Knights of the Underworld will burn the divine world. Returning to Goku, he would continue with his great training with the intention of mastering his aura to fight with much more advantage. Goku would fall to the ground exhausted. Darn, this is exhausting. It is even much more tiring than a physical training. That's right, since you must dominate your internal energy at least 70%, but you must also have a strong essence so that you are able to form your aura. But I do not plan to give up. I have a clear goal and I know that I will be able to fulfill it. Of course, Goku. It is what makes you fearful. No matter how powerful your enemy is, you do not give up. And it is the internal force that makes you much more powerful. Thank you for being my teacher. I swear that I will always protect you, Neon. Returning to the Kingdom of Everything, Zeno-sama would begin to expel his negativity for all 12 universes. But was that really Yasuma's plan? The older brother of the Knights of the Underworld? He finally began to expand all the negative power for all the universes. When everything is contaminated, there will be no being capable of facing us. All the negative power of Zeno-sama would expand rapidly, but only Whis would notice this, the most powerful angel of all 12 universes. Sister Bados, we need divine protection. Quickly, let's go to the center of the 6 and 7 universes. Of course, brother, whatever you say. Both angels flew at their maximum speeds to the center of both universes, in which both with all their power tried to retain all the negative energy of the King of Everything, being able to achieve it with great effort since Zeno-sama did not control all the demonic energy completely. It was not so powerful.
Now we must meet with all our respective gods, and in the same way, inform the most powerful warriors of the Universe 6. We will be the resistance. I understand, brother, but what do you mean by resistance? What is happening? It is not time to explain it. Just keep in mind that the most powerful beings of the Divine Kingdom have been corrupted by a much more powerful energy than their own. Whis would arrive quickly with his god of destruction, informing him of everything that happened. For that reason, perhaps, Zeno-sama and Grand Priest, they eliminated Goku without mercy. They were really being manipulated. It may be, my lord, but it is not the time. We have to go quickly to planet Earth. Both deities went to planet Earth at maximum speed, while Vegeta was training in the gravity capsule. At the moment, he would be interrupted. Getting a little angry, but Beerus, annoying at great speed, would hold him to the ground. Damn it, Vegeta, if I'm here it's for something very serious. If you continue with this behavior, I swear I will destroy you. I'm sorry, Lord Beerus. I had never seen Lord Beerus like that. This latter would only think about it. Whis would explain everything that happened to the Z Warriors, but in the sky a great crack would form. That's right, from which Hirin would come out very badly injured and on the verge of death. Hirin, damn it, the second most powerful being in the universes has been in these pathetic conditions. What the hell is happening? From the crack you could see Margarita along with the god Belmode. But Beerus, apparently you do not have the negative energy of the demon gods. That means that you are against us, so right now I will finish you. Beerus, a little confident, would approach Belmode. Lord Beerus, do not trust. Remember, they now have negative energy. Their minimum power multiplied. Beerus would be taken with the low guard, being sent to fly in one blow, which would cause him an unimaginable pain, making him fall to the ground and vomiting large amounts of blood. Damn it, I will not let Beerus fall so easily. I will join the battle. Do not worry, Mr. Vegeta. The power of the god Belmode has risen in a great way, but compared to the power of Lord Beerus, he is still a simple child. What do you mean, Whis? At the moment, an incredible destructive power would be released from the whole body of Beerus. The power was so much that it would even bring back all those present with the exception of the deities. Belmode, I had never witnessed my maximum power, so I hope you are ready for the end of your existence. You are the simple cat. You will not be able to do anything to me, Beerus. Both gods began to exchange millions of blows, which Vegeta was not able to see absolutely nothing, only a few flashes. The power of Beerus is gigantic, and if even he is nervous, it must be because what is approaching is of an overwhelming level. After a few minutes of battle, Beerus was able to leave Belmode very badly wounded on the ground, but his defeat was imminent since he had lost his limbs and his power had decreased considerably, crawling like a worm with Margarita since he needed help. But being about to touch Margarita, an attack would completely pulverize him. Do not touch me. You are not worthy of possessing the power of a demon god. I will take care of these damned worms myself. Sister, it is a shame that you have also fallen into the path of evil. I, as the most powerful angel,
planned to defeat you and send you to the other world. Haha, that if you are only able to defeat me, among all the angels, you are the one who likes violence the least, so you are not able to hurt your beloved sister. The thought of Margarita vanished completely when Whis's fist was stuck in his stomach. I'm sorry, sister, this will hurt me more than you. Angelic power release. A great white light mixed with a great attack would be able to completely disintegrate Margarita, who did not have a chance against the most powerful angel. Lord Beerus, we must put a great barrier so that we are able to prepare. That's right, Whis, do it immediately. A great barrier was able to cover the entire Universe 7. Meanwhile, Goku and Nin had both been able to advance in a great way. Even Goku was able to access a new transformation, which was the Super Saiyan 4 Celestial, since all his fur was of an imposing white color. Nin, all this has been thanks to you. I have not been able to control my aura, but I have achieved this new power. With that power, you are able to face us, the celestial gods. I have never fought with you. Do you think we have a confrontation? Ha ha ha. It is not a good idea, since I do not want to leave you injured. But at that moment, Nin's gaze would change to a much more serious, like Goku's gaze, a mutated being. He had launched towards Nin, which was ready to disintegrate him, but Goku at lightning speed stood in front of Nin, and with a single blow he was able to eliminate him, jumping blood all over the place. Nin was surprised, since that fist had an incredible strength, being enough to make a warrior explode, but it would start to rain blood, which would make the goddess Nin panic, while Goku was very confused. How strange. First time in a universe it rains blood? Nin, what happens? This is impossible. We will all be annihilated. The Bath of the Underworld has begun. It was said that it was a simple legend. Bath of the Underworld? That's right. This is how it is known when the warriors of the Underworld spill the blood of their victims, and it is reflected in the 18 universes. I don't understand anything at all. Who are the warriors of the Underworld? The warriors of the Underworld are the elite of everything that exists. Their powers compared to ours is like comparing the power of a mortal and the power of a king of all. Nin, do not worry. It does not matter if he is the king of everything or those so-called warriors of the Underworld. I will protect you. What a romantic scene. It disgusts me. Nin's face would reflect concern, since when that warrior arrived, everything around him would be dark. That's right. He was the demon of Yazama, demon of the Underworld. What this pressure is, it's amazing. I'm not even able to move easily. You are not able to stand my dominion, and you think you have enough power to be able to protect that pathetic goddess? Goku, ferocious by the way that warrior referred to Nin, would expel all his power, being completely in vain, since compared to the power of that subject, his power was nothing. But Goku, without giving up, would take his body to the limit. You are a pathetic mortal. You are not capable of doing anything. I have come to destroy the entire Universe 14, including the god of this universe. I will not let you end Nin's life. First, you will have to end me. Yazama with a single attack was able to leave Goku out of combat, returning to his base state. The goddess Nin would also release all her power, but for Yazama it was nothing surprising. Both would have a great battle in which energy balls, fists, and kicks could be observed throughout Nin's territory. It is time to take you with me. You are not as powerful as the rumors said. Yazama, regardless of whether Nin is a woman, would give him a strong blow to the face, making her fall to the ground very badly injured. Damn it, how was I able to leave myself in these conditions with a single blow? Nin, before being carried by that warrior, was able to throw a sphere of energy towards Goku. That energy was able to recover him completely, but it was even able to awaken his double veins of energy. That's right, when Goku was born a second time, his internal system of duplicates, being one of the most powerful beings in existence, and with the help of Nin's power, his power would begin to rise in an incredible way, making all 18 universes tremble. And before Yazama left, a great barrier would be placed throughout the 14th universe of Nin, while Goku's power continued to grow without stopping. His white fur, which characterized him, had changed into a purple fur, representing the power of destruction. Goku's power was felt even by the king of everything, that's right, but he was not able to recognize him because his power had grown in an unreal way.
The power of that warrior is dangerous. We must do something. Before being annihilated, it must be a mutant from Universe 14. The warriors of the eliminated universes were always cataloged as monsters, who seemed to have no limit in their power. Goku's power continued to grow in an incredible way, to the point that a great purple beast would also form in his aura, leaving Nin surprised. Goku, with a great explosion, was even able to destroy the demon of the king of the underworld.
It's time you face the powerful Goku, the Purple Saiyan God. Goku with a great bang moved at a speed, being able to grant the first effective blow to that god, which annoying would stand up while his power was rising in an incredible way. I don't care who the hell you are, I swear to return this blow multiplied by 100. You don't have the power of an underworld god. Yasama would be releasing a surprising power, which would even knock down the 18 universes. But the goddess of Universe 15, Mikashin, would be aware of the brutal power that was being released in Universe 14. This is very strange. The power that is perceived does not belong to Neon or any other celestial god. Mikashin would not give it enough importance, but at the time the clash of a fist was able to create hundreds of holes in the universe, which would worry Mikashin. If the power exceeds the defense barrier of the multiverse of Xenosama, we will all be annihilated, since the matter will be compressed in such a way, leaving nothing of us. Mikashin would begin to head towards the territory of Neon, while both warriors were in a very even battle. However, Yasama's power seemed to have an advantage over Goku's new power. But to everyone's surprise, Yasama spitted out large amounts of blood, while his power began to decrease. What the hell? This is impossible. How are you able to cause me harm? I am the one who is promoting a beating. Haha, that's what I want you to feel, since every time you touch my body, you are being injected with my destructive energy, and I have been able to destroy your entire internal system. That's right, the energy that Goku possessed in his new transformation even surpassed that of any god. So injecting such energy into the internal system of any warrior would be fatal. However, this would happen to any normal being, since Yasama was the leader of the 4 riders of the underworld, so with great difficulty, he would stand up. So, do you like to play with traps? Let's see which of the two is dirtier to play with traps, since this can be of 2. Goku, being confident, was not able to realize that behind him a great being of dark energy had formed, but Goku realizing it, it was too late for him, since that technique was incomprehensible to a mortal being. This is impossible. It was said that the imminent death technique was for beings from other multiverses. Yasama would turn his back on Goku, while death itself cruelly tore him apart. It does not matter what power he has, as long as he is not able to master his aura, he will not be able to counter this technique. But you have given me problems, damn you. Yasama with a small palm would send Neon to crash at the base of the planet. Goku, seeing how he hit Neon and could not do anything, his anger increased to levels that even Yasama would be amazed. So the power of that Saiyajin depends on you? This is interesting. What would happen if I end your miserable life? Yasama was perplexed and unable to move when he realized that Goku was able to master his aura completely, even Neon. Goku is incredible. Being a celestial goddess, it took me 1,500 years to master my aura completely. A great dragon would be able to destroy Yasama's technique completely, while Goku would have a very serious look and everything around him would freeze due to expansion of domain. Expansion of domain, abomination of space. Everything around him was even able to turn dark, similar to his purple fur, while Yasama's body was not able to stand. That's right, Goku's power had crushed him completely, making it impossible for him to stand. This damn mortal has been able to master his aura in the middle of the battle, which was said to be impossible. For me, there is nothing impossible. But you were in the right, I almost die. My whole system received lethal attacks, so I do not plan to waste time with you. Goku, when approaching Yasama, would explode completely because the wounds were really serious. Yasama, with his little energy, would stand up, creating a gigantic explosion with his own body. Neon would face that great explosion to protect Goku, but it would be impossible for him. When Neon's barrier was destroyed, his last hope would pose in front of Neon. That's right, Mikashin had been able to protect both from such an imminent explosion. On the other hand, we observe Yasama in his castle, a little serious due to everything that happened. That copy of me had 45% of all my power. That Saiyajin is really a nuisance. What happened, brother? There is nothing to worry about. The negative power has been able to corrupt all the destructive gods. Only the celestial gods are missing. But brother, who has been able to defeat your spiritual form? That I have understood, that form has 45% of all your power, and no being must be able to achieve it. I am sure that is not surprising, Shida, but there really is a subject which has an incredible power, was able not only to defeat me, was able to finish me. Are you serious, brother? That's right, I decided to self-destruct so that they are not able to realize where I would go, since even a new celestial goddess would take place. It will be better to have total control of all beings of the kingdom of everything to end those damn plagues. You are right, since the power of this pathetic Saiyajin is something that I am not even able to understand. Yasama would still be very thoughtful for the battle he had had, because it was not explained where he was able to expel much more power. Meanwhile, in Universe 7, Whis had been able to finish off his sister, while Beerus was also very thoughtful. Hey, Whis, what do we do? Since if the gods have been able to have that new power, the beings of the kingdom of everything must have a much greater power. I agree with you, Mr. Beerus, but there is nothing that we are capable of doing. Of course there is. We just have to look for the perfect opportunity to be able to take advantage of it. But do not worry that before all this started, I was the first to move the pieces of this difficult chess game. What do you mean by chess game, Whis? Explain yourself. Mr. Beerus, even you were affected by a little negative energy that I could notice when I thought about betraying Goku, so I knew that something was not going well. What are you trying to say, Whis? Did you plan Son Goku's betrayal? In short, it would be like that, since I had a vision in which even having the power of Goku, we would be defeated. That means that if Kakarot is not in this universe, he will not be annihilated, so he is our only play. Excellent, Mr. Vegeta. That's right, I knew everything that was going to happen, but to a certain extent it was risky. But we must trust.
Whis is absolutely crazy. Do you think Son Goku will forgive us after wanting to end his life? That is something that we will not know until we talk to Goku himself. In the kingdom of everything, Zeno-sama was able to assimilate all the negative energy completely, unlike Grand Priest, which could not be manipulated completely, and Yasama would notice this in time. That damn priest has a great spirit of peace, but I have already been able to control it 80%, but the remaining 20% is costing me too much. Do not worry, brother. It is a matter of time, since the mental power of a priest is not compared to our mental power, and much less with yours. You are right, Shida, but there is something that I do not like in this whole situation. I still do not know what it is, but it smells like blood to death. Returning to Universe 14, you could observe Goku, who was on the verge of death but had not returned to his base state, which would leave Nin very confused. He is on the verge of death, but why does not he return to his base state, so he would not use the power to maintain that transformation? Most likely his body is preparing for a new charge of energy, which makes it impossible for him to return to his base state. Nin and Miko Shin would help Goku to take him to a room so that he is able to rest, while both goddesses began to talk about everything that happened, even having in mind to ask Sirius for help, and even the supreme god Psycho. I have an excellent relationship with Sirius, but the opposite of Psycho, since he has a temperament too strong and is able to destroy me. That is the problem, but we need powerful warriors who are able to do something to be prepared for the other riders of the apocalypse. Shida, prepare yourself along with Pekka, since they will make a visit to the beings of the kingdom of everything. As you order, brother. Jaika, come immediately. Order, my masters. What can I do for you? You, along with my brother, will go to the kingdom of everything, the good-for-nothing of Zeno-sama. I want you to make Grand Priest completely at our service, and in case you do not achieve it, end your life. Your wishes are orders for me.
Great Yasuma-sama. Both beings began to move at incredible speeds throughout space and even breaking the megaversal barrier, being able to enter the territory of Zeno-sama and Grand Priest. Despite being manipulated almost entirely, he would notice that something was wrong. But before reacting, he would be subdued by Jaka, who had great armor and seemed a great warrior, being able to crush Grand Priest's head against the ground. Grand Priest, being the most powerful angel, would try to resist, but before Jaka's great power, it would be useless. But Whis was able to observe everything that happened, since when he went with his Goku to the Kingdom of Everything, he was able to leave several crystals to be aware of everything that happened in the Kingdom of Everything. So they are one of the responsibles for this whole multiverse being corrupted by negative energy. It does not matter where you are, we know that you are watching us, so you better enjoy your last hours of freedom. All the crystals would be destroyed in their entirety, which would leave Whis very serious and shocked. This is much more dangerous than I thought, since the power of those beings is incredible. Even my father with the negative power has not been able to do anything against them. I didn't like your plan at all, Whis, but we must trust the useless of Goku. But Lord Beerus we cannot enter, to be able to defend ourselves. You are right, Vegeta. I, as the most powerful god, will not let you finish me. This is perfect. We will go to the hyperbolic time chamber. You go, since I will be aware of any anomaly in the universes 6 and 7. Beerus, along with Vegeta, quickly went to the hyperbolic time chamber, in which the ones at the time of entering that dimension began their great training without losing a second, since time was something that the warriors did not have at the time. Meanwhile, in the Kingdom of Everything, Jaka was inserting a lot of dark energy into Grand Priest's body, which refused to be controlled by someone else, realizing in the same way everything that had happened with Son Goku, being able to perceive a small part of his power. This should be impossible, but I will try. Grand Priest with a mental wave was able to communicate with Goku, who was still out of combat. Goku, I apologize first for everything that has happened, but we have been manipulated by a being named Yasuma, who is the leader of the Apocalypse hymns. I will explode and send him all my power. Receive it, please. Damn Priest, you will explode for so much energy.
The negative energy that I am injecting into your being, so accept or die. I prefer to die, to be part of beings like you. A great explosion would be created throughout the Kingdom of Everything, which was not able to do absolutely anything to the beings present. That damned Grand Priest turned out to be so loyal to his principles that he preferred death. It will be better to leave here. Zeno-sama, I want you to be attentive to any anomaly in the 2 universes. Of course, as you order, young Shira. Both would return to the castle of Yasuma, while in Universe 14, a great golden energy would approach at high speed. Both gods would be on guard, but the energy was so fast that he had dodged them by entering Goku's body. What the hell happened? What was that energy? Goku was able to fully recover, observing in his mind how they had humiliated Grand Priest and even the sincere apology. Goku's power would shoot in his transformation, while he assimilated all the power of an angel. I swear I'll finish each one of you Apocalypse Riders. Goku was able to assimilate all the power of a priest in his body, stopping to release all that power, which was even destroying Neon's Universe 14. Mikoshin would try to leave him out of combat, but it was impossible since, to his surprise, when he tried to approach Goku, an extremely incredible pressure was able to make him eat dust. That's right, Mikoshin would use all his power and spirit to stand up, but it was impossible. Damn it, how is it possible that a Saiyan has all that power? It's impossible for a Saiyan to be able to bend me, a heavenly goddess. Goku, not recognizing Mikoshin, would not decrease his pressure, but when he heard Neon's sweet voice, he would understand that Mikoshin was an ally. Please, Goku, reduce your pressure. Mikoshin was the goddess who saved us after you were unconscious. Goku would completely disappear his pressure, allowing Mikoshin to move freely. But something surprising was that he had been able to break several of his bones with his simple pressure. I'm sorry, I didn't know you were an ally. I'll heal your wounds. Goku would approach Mikoshin, transmitting a little of his power, making Mikoshin fully recover, but was amazed since the power he had achieved seemed a greater power than she possessed. What is this? I feel that my power has been completely released. Don't say stupid things, Mikoshin. It has only helped to heal each of your wounds. I don't know what you've done, but I appreciate it. It's not the time for thanks, since Yasuma has ended the life of Grand Priest. They were the ones who controlled the whole divine world to betray me. Are you sure of what you were saying, Goku? Since I saw you very sure of the fall of the divine world. By the way, haven't you hit your head in your battle? No, Neon, I'm sure I was already able to observe Grand Priest in my mind, and he even apologized to me. The world that I swore to destroy will be the world that I will protect again. Ha ha, such big words for a Saiyan who is too weak. That voice had resonated throughout the sky, while from a large cloud of darkness, some red eyes could be observed. But if it is Psycho, the god of Universe 18, the most powerful god of all of us. So long without seeing the stupid goddesses, I still don't even know how they were given the position of celestial goddesses if they serve us for absolutely nothing. Goku would raise his power a bit, since the presence of Psycho was clearly hostile. Ha ha ha, so you want to fight with your father? Don't make me laugh. What do you think a simple Saiyan like you can do in front of me, the first Saiyan god? Psycho is right, Goku. He's the first Saiyan god. Don't worry. I've been able to face Yasuma, the current leader of the Inframundo Riders. This clown won't be able to do anything to me. I know you have faced the current leader of the Inframundo Riders, but tell me, who do you think was the one who murdered Yasuma's father? Goku would have a face of confusion. Although those bastards were able to seal 50% of all my power, it is more than enough to end a garbage like you. If you want to end me, I'll have to fight you. Psycho, as if it were a flash, would grant Goku a great blow, which would send him to fly to a great planet, but it would be destroyed with the simple contact. This is amazing. It was said that the planets of the celestial gods were indestructible, but with a single blow, it was able to make it explode. That's right, even Goku with all his power was able to cause several disasters, but not to destroy it. Goku would recover from such a blow, but the moment he was about to swing, Psycho would grant him hundreds of blows which would break each of his bones. That's right, Psycho's blows were as powerful as if they were metal planets since they completely destroyed Goku's body. On the other hand, in Yasuma's castle, he would immediately recognize Psycho. For that reason, the power of that Saiyan is decreasing rapidly. He's fighting against Psycho, the destructive Saiyan. Brother, I always had that doubt, since even we being the riders of the Inframundo, we are forbidden to have any confrontation with that warrior. What is it due to? That damned Psycho was responsible for ending the life of our father. He was the first being to corner our father.
Psycho, instead of competing for who's the most powerful of these territories, we can ally. I don't care to be the most powerful warrior. What interests me is to destroy every warrior who becomes the most powerful. The battle of both subjects was the most destructive in all existence. Even their battle had lasted approximately 15 days, and this was an incredible time since both seemed to have unlimited energy. You are really powerful, but I will use a power to which it does not matter that you are the boss of the gems of the apocalypse. I will finish you. Psycho's power would increase drastically without the need to use a powerful technique, which left the boss and father of Yasuna surprised since he was humiliated for about 30 minutes. I will die in this battle, but you being a Saiyan, you will lose the most on the side you have. If you mean a loved one, I have absolutely no one. And if I had a son, I would sacrifice him anyway to have much more power. Haha, I know that beings like you have no one close, but what they love most is their power. Despite being the boss of the gyms and being a dark warrior, he was able to use several threads of Durata light with which it was possible to neutralize all of Psycho's power, while the other gems exterminated each of his veins of energy. Damn it, I will not allow them to take away all my power. Psycho would create an explosion with the remaining power, being able to break the technique, but his rival had kept his word to take the most precious since Psycho's power had been stolen 60%. Damn, old man, how dare you steal my power? You are an insect. Psycho's power has increased by 10%, but in this life it will be impossible for him to recover his 100%, since after hundreds of years he has not recovered practically anything. Psycho, despite not having all his power, was being able to beat Goku, which he felt that with each blow his life was taken from him. Nian and Mikoshin not being able to stand how they beat Goku, both goddesses threw themselves against Psycho, but hundreds of rays of energy were left on the ground, spitting large amounts of blood. Those damned girls, they will never be able to do anything against me. Psycho, who was hitting Goku, would feel how his skin had hardened as if he was hitting a metal bar. Damn it, they can hit me, humiliate me, but I will never allow you to do anything to my goddesses. They are under my care. Neon and Mikoshin smiled at being protected by Goku as his power grew much more, since that transformation was the closest to a beast. Due to this, his power increased the more he got angry, just like his body adapted to the conditions of the battle. Your power is of another level. Apparently, it has finally appeared a worthy rival. Goku, not saying a word, would throw a big blow in which Psycho would respond in the same way, but the bones of Psycho's hand would be completely pulverized. Psycho, without showing pain, would kick Goku's jaw, sending him back a few meters, while with his other hand he carried a large sphere of energy.
With that blow, I have marked you, so it does not matter where you go, this attack will follow you until it destroys you. I do not need to flee, since with my own hands I plan to destroy it. I want to see if you are able to do it, Spiral of Hell. A great attack would be thrown against Goku, which with the simple sound of his thunders cracked the dimension itself. Neon and Mikoshi elevated their power to the maximum, trying to neutralize all the distortions that Psycho's power caused. It is a powerful attack, but for me, the most powerful Saiyan of this time, there is no impossible. Goku would stretch his hands, beginning to stop the attack, but despite having great resistance, the attack was able to completely destroy his hands. But Goku, with a great scream, was able to completely destroy him. Psycho would be speechless, since it had not taken him any time to destroy his most powerful attack. I am not going to end you right now. I want you to beg for your pathetic life. This will not be my last battle. I do not know how I will do it, but I will access 100% of all my power. Psycho would leave, but without realizing it, Psycho had been marked by Goku's power. Goku would also disappear, appearing on the side of Psycho, receiving a great blow that had sent him to a planet, destroying it and causing Psycho to spit a lot of blood. I will not leave alive a being who only has darkness and evil in his heart. You are nothing for the universes. If you kill me, you will not be able to finish the gems of the apocalypse. I do not need you, since if you could end your leader, I know they are like us, and in the same way, they can die. Goku, with a great attack, was able to reduce Psycho to simple atoms. That's right, Goku's power had been so great that he was able to end the life of the most powerful celestial god. Meanwhile, in Universe 7, Beerus, along with Vegeta, had achieved incredible power. So much had been the power of both that the hyperbolic time chamber no longer supported so much power. The power we have achieved is incredible, but it is still not on par with the power of the Great Priest. We must train now in the baculum of Whis, since being the dimension of an angel, he has much more capacity to support our power. Good idea, Vegeta. Both returned with Whis quickly, which was very serious. What happens, Whis? The Great Priest has been eliminated with incredible ease. If even my father was annihilated in such a way, what can we do? Whis, do not let that define the final result. Although it hurts me to admit it, we still have Kakarot. He will be able to defeat those bastards. That's right, Whis. We are just one more defense for when Kakarot is ready. I do not know how they manage to maintain the composure. Even I, being an angel, it is difficult for me to order my ideas at this time. Hey, Whis, have you tried to communicate with Son Goku? Of course not, Mr. Beerus. After we betrayed you, you will never want to know about us. At that time, the barrier that Whis had placed had been completely destroyed by one of Yasuma's followers who had the appearance of a demon with several blue lines all over his skin. So, you are the pathetic beings who were not contaminated by the negative energy of the great Yasuma-sama. Now I will kill you. You are no longer useful to us. Whis would face everyone when he felt like that demon released a great power, but everyone was amazed to see how Whis had been sent to fly in one fell swoop. Beerus and Vegeta raised their power to the maximum, as did Piccolo and Gohan. All the warriors launched against that demon, not being able to do absolutely anything. Final flash! Vegeta's powerful attack was aimed at that demon, which, with a smile, was able to return it in one blow. You are simple garbage when I look at you. I don't know why the great Yasuma-sama is interested in beings as pathetic as you. You are a demon, the opposite of what I am, so I am not going to let you finish the planet Earth. We will destroy you. Everyone began to exchange millions of blows, but the difference in powers was clear. Goku was able to feel Gohan's power. My son and my other friends are fighting against a being that emanates an incredible negative energy. What are you going to do, Goku? What I would really do, if they really intended to betray me, I will understand them, but I will not let anything or anyone end up with those I once protected. Goku would begin to move through all the universes at great speed, while the demon would pose above all, carrying a great attack. Die. This is your end, damn worms. Damn Kakarot. I am sorry for everything. I wish you were here. You are and will continue to be number one. But that powerful attack never collided with the warriors. While in front of them, they observed a completely different Goku, which released an amazing power. I have arrived, since all the universes are protected by me. Goku would expel a little of his power to make the Need Demon fall to the ground without being able to move. Goku had been able to stop the abysmal power that was heading towards all the friends, but he would leave everyone very surprised by the new appearance that he had. That's right, even for the gods, it was the first time that transformation appeared, which even made him appreciate his bestial state. Apparently, I have arrived just in time, and I'm sorry, I don't know if you wanted to betray me, but I know that even I have been manipulated. I really don't know what happened to us, Kakarot,
but a very powerful entity was able to make us betray you. I apologize to you, Kakarot." Goku, having a bit of the ability to see the future, it was the only alternative I found, since I knew that you were going to meet the god Neomumakashin. The demon, a little annoyed because his blow had been stopped with extreme ease, had launched against Goku. However, Goku, with the simple pressure of all his power, was able to crush him against the ground. "You better stay still if you want to live for a few more minutes, damn worm. Since it does not matter what you do, I am going to end your life anyway." Shiva, who was accompanying the demon in the same way, would try to make a move, but Goku, with great anger, was able to hold him from his head, burying him with great force. Shiva, at the moment, would expel an incredible aura of lightning with the intention of getting rid and causing some damage to his enemy, but it was impossible, since this time for Goku that discharge of lightning was a simple breeze in all his body. So, Goku, as if he were a beast, would try to crush him against everything that got in his way, which would leave everyone surprised since this was not the attitude of Goku. Goku's attitude has changed too much, and here, despite emanating that warm ki, its essence is very similar to death, even surpasses the destruction of a destroyer. I can't believe the power Kakarot has achieved, but I knew he would be the one to end these damn worms. Goku with a big kick had sent him flying while Goku slowly approached his prey. Shiva panicked, but he was not able to move any of his muscles. However, that demon with all his power was able to get rid of that pressure, so at the moment he launched against Goku at an incredible speed. But for Goku, this was nothing. I had planned to let you live for a few more minutes, but since you wanted to die so much, I will fulfill your wish. Goku would stretch one of his hands behind his head, throwing a powerful attack, which was able to reduce simple ashes to the powerful demon who was able to humiliate even Whis. Goku's eyes drew a maniacal smile toward Shiva. "Where is your brother, Yasuke? Is not he going to come to help you?" "What? What are you? You are a damn monster!" None of us, not even Psycho, had been able to increase his power in this way. "I can't believe it, that the dam of your brother has been able to resurrect me just to end the whole divine kingdom. Wait, how do you know that? He is a pathetic mortal. You cannot have divine knowledge." Since I had my battle with him, I knew it, but I had a few doubts. But while time passed, I was able to realize the reason why he had resurrected me. Damn it, this is bad. No puppet of my brother had revealed himself like this damn worm. Is he going to kill me? Today is not enough to throw it out, since if I end your life, your dear brother can still bring you back to life. So you have nothing to fear. Shiva would remember all the bodies and negative energy required, so he would prefer to stay dead.
Would throw a powerful energy sphere. However, a fast lightning was able to save Shiva. That's right, Yasuke had reached the battlefield. Goku, be very careful, since unlike last time, this is his original body. That's right, Goku, the power that Yasuke is able to expel this time has no comparison, so stay on guard. Brother, are you okay? Damn, worm, it was the worst resurrection that I have committed. You had to thank me. I gave you another chance to get revenge on these miserable. Ha ha, you sure you wanted me to come back? All you wanted was to end the whole divine world. Why didn't you do it? I still don't understand. If your power exceeds all these warriors by millions of times, that's nothing to worry about. But right now, I'm thinking to send you to the world of the dead, to which you belong. Oh, you remember. It was he who warned us about Son Goku's threat. He spread all the information to both universes. That's right, Mr. Beerus, I remember, but apparently it was all an elaborate plan, since even he was the one who brought Goku back to life. There are no more doubts. The one responsible for all my friends betraying me was you. Damn you, now I'll end your life. Goku would rush at great speed, but he would come out full of wounds because Yasuke would instantly release a surprising power that was even able to cause an incredible damage to the entire body of Goku, since the level of power of Yasuke this time was extremely incredible, so much so that it did not allow Goku to move freely while everyone present was on their knees at the brink of death. This bastard really turned out to have an incredible power,
But I am the protector of all these multiverses. I have not been allowed to lose. Goku with his great determination would stand up, and in the same way he would begin to release all his power. However, a great barrier would cover all those present so that they are able to continue with life. The power of both is incredible, but I feel like Yasuke's power surpasses Goku's power dozens of times, and that's bad. Well, we can see how Yasuke is able to overcome all the power of Son Goku, but Goku always has a plan under his sleeve. I don't know, Mr. Beerus, since the power of his enemy this time seems to be of an incomparable level. We have to pray that Goku wins this battle, since otherwise we will all die. Goku was able to expel all his power, so for all the two great universes, chaos was caused, since Goku was not able to neutralize the energy shock completely. I promise that when all this is over, I will bring them to life, since if I don't end this damn life, we will all die. Both warriors threw themselves against each other, so a great fight would be generated everywhere, while in the kingdom of all Grand Priest, just like Zeno-sama, they were being consumed by a much greater energy than the previous time, but the simple essence of Goku was able to give a little support to Grand Priest, since he was the warrior who had the purest heart. Unlike Zeno-sama being like a child, he was much easier to manipulate, so Grand Priest having that opening would release all his power, with which he had disintegrated all the essence of Yasuke. That is the power of Goku. It is an incredible power, but thanks to him, I have been able to release all this essence. Now I must help the great Zeno-sama. Grand Priest would begin to flow large amounts of energy throughout Zeno-sama's body, however it was not enough because Zeno-sama's power was hundreds of times greater than Grand Priest's power, so Grand Priest would communicate telepathically with both goddesses when he felt his power. Mikoshin, Neon, please I ask you for help. The great Zeno-sama was also infected with all that negative energy. I have been able to free myself, but I need more power. Goku, while exchanging blows, would communicate in the same way with both goddesses. Go Mikoshin, Neon, since if things get bad we have the support of two more powerful beings than this whole multiverse. Both goddesses would quickly go to the kingdom of everything, so when they arrived, the three of them began to invade all the spiritual sea of Zeno-sama with their own energy, but Zeno-sama was able to expel a great power accessing his combat form, granting several blows to those present. Damn worms, I will not allow them to take away the dream that the great Yasuke of this whole multiverse has. My lord, I apologize, but I will have to put my hands on his body, so I have to leave him out of combat to save him. Do not make me laugh, Dai. You do not have the required power to face me, so it will be better if you stand by my side again. You are completely wrong, damned dwarf, since this time Denshinkai is not alone. He has us. That's right. Don't you remember who you feared so much? We, the super gods, have returned, and we are able to face your pathetic combat form. I agree with you, simple goddesses, but with the power that Yasuke-sama has granted me, it will not be enough. The whole place would quickly change to a dead zone due to the power that all the warriors were releasing, and at the moment the trio of warriors launched against Zeno-sama, which despite giving them powerful blows, Zeno-sama did not show any damage. But one of his blows was able to connect Mikoshin, sending it to fly to a planet, destroying it at the simple impact, which would leave everyone surprised. This is incredible. You did not possess all that power. What happened to you? I am being able to dominate all the power that the powerful Yasuke-sama has granted me, so your death is approaching more and more. Returning to the battle of Yasuke and Goku, both seem to be very equal. However, the body of Yasuke was with a few wounds, but his power began to decrease, unlike the power of Goku. But his body was massacred, since the speed of Yasuke surpassed him on several occasions, being able to provide him with heavy blows. All my body hurts. Despite having many more energy reserves, this miserable is capable of causing me great damage. I never thought that a simple mortal would be able to measure one against one with me. My power begins to decrease. If I do nothing, this may be my last battle. Goku, do not forget everything I have taught you. We trust you, Goku. Use all the knowledge and power Saiyajin. Kakarot, I am proud to belong to your same race, and witness how a warrior considered low class ends up with a god of the highest level. Of course, Vegeta, that's what it is. So, my body explodes in pieces. I plan to end this miserable murderer. Don't say things you won't be able to do, because even though you have many more energy reserves, your body is made into pieces. It's true, but my body,
being the body of a warrior, I am sure that it is capable of supporting all my energy reserves. For the next 10 minutes, Goku's body would begin to emanate an unreal power. So much was Goku's power that this time was able to almost put Yasuke on his knees. Even the barrier that protected everyone else seemed to shriek. Goku plans to use all his power in the next 10 minutes? Damn, I can't leave Shiva in this place. This monster will end his life. But Yasuke being about to teleport to his brother, a powerful palm was able to crash Shiva under the ground, and at the moment of a great attack, turn him into simple dust of the universe. Yasuke was not able to react, since at the moment he would be sent to fly with a powerful blow, which even felt like it had snatched half of his soul. Yasuke would fall to the ground, vomiting large amounts of blood. Goku's fist radiated an incredible power. That's right, 100% of Goku's power was concentrated in that fist, so when he threw it, a powerful dragon would form all over the ground, ending Yasuke's life. Although this has released much more power, not leaving a trace of it, so instantly, the king of the everything, Zeno-sama, would fall to the ground, losing all the power that Yasuke had granted him. Goku had been out of combat for the next 2 months, so in the end, he was able to wake up, but Grand Priest, with the help of the Super Dragon Balls, had already brought all the fallen warriors to the battlefield, along with Mikoshin and Neon. All the gods and warriors said goodbye to the warrior who was able to bring peace to all 12 universes.